We're back after a pretty lengthy tech pause. Thankfully, we were able to iron out the kinks during our break. We now finally have map number 2 for you all. Going on Skyscraper. Kicking things off will be an EKU defense, while Purdue start to kick off our attack. We're going to head up towards the karaoke and the tea room. Bans for this time around will be Maverick and Monty on the attacker side of things. We're also going to see Valk and Azami on the defensive half of things. So, overall, pretty normal bans. The Maverick, I am a little interested in. That's absolutely correct. Blackbeard is in play. Might see them, and they're actually going to see Wrath 6-pick onto that Blackbeard. Have double breach as well being brought in as well. Quick cape bringing off some soft destruction. As Na trying to aid the push with some Thatcher gameplay. On the defense though, double electrify, and we also have that tuber out to slow the progress even further. Lomo also swapping towards Elysian along with Moon bringing in that Warden. So operator lined up pretty good so far. Yellow going to patiently await the assistance of his teammate. Throwing in the EMP grenades. Should be able to get the wall with real no issue here. They are going to be successful in starting to take in our exhibition side of things. And overall now, just a good clearing coming in from Purdue so far. Incursion met by Wrath. Now they are now aware that EKU have started to push up, and it's going to be successful for Moon. That's not usually how you play Blackbeard. You do have a shield, but Shin with a massive C4 through the floor, able to take out Na. And it's a great early lead for EKU right now. Purdue need to rally off of losing 2 allies, very influential allies as well. Losing that Blackbeard fairly early on. Not something you want to see. The Thatcher did do its job, but losing that rifle, it's never something you actually want to see. So now heading up towards this terrorist side of things, looking to push through Drum over Borger, all the way in Geisha. Able to rain down, suppressing fire, denying any entry for Purdue right now. We're going to see that Moon has taken quite a bit of damage from an earlier incursion right now. Yellow also continuing to relay some pressure. Swinging toward Drum. Not finding much success right now. 60 seconds though. Purdue definitely going to need to start picking up the pace here.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Quick cape also looking to play some verticality right now. Try and aid their teammates. Trying to flush out Borgar as well. He's going to be met with some assistance right now as Yellow swinging out towards the Dragon side of things. Borger is hit with yet another flashbang. And soaring up the black stairs, very narrowly getting a pick right there is Yellow. I do think the timing is incredibly off right now. Nothing happening just yet. Sin, though, keeping up the dominance that EKU seems to be showing right now. With a headshot, gonna follow it up with another kill, giving him 3 on the round, and finishing things off as Moon to give EKU a flawless round. Much better pacing from them than what we saw over on our Clubhouse Map 1. With that being said, they're going to continue to move on towards the exhibition room. Okay, that's good to know. A little bit of issues in game setting, but very easy fix.
As many bombs as they can.
This team should be on top of what they're doing. Not too much of a blunder right now. Similar lineup from our defense side of EKU right now. So a lot of breach denial with Sin and Dahoon, along with Moon, bringing in those Zoto canisters.
10 seconds to insertion.
It's definitely a iffy one.
5 seconds to
Need
insertion.
to pick up the pace ever so carefully.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Purdue losing their initial teammates earlier in the round. Oh, it's in general.
Swapping mags.
That's whatever. Anyway, gonna try again. Is Purdue? A lot of work to be done. Seeing a much more aggressive roster from Purdue now. You have that Deimos and the Ash being played. Two very solid operators. Two very influential weapons right now. Bandit tricking from Sin is going to be successful to keep Purdue locked on out. Wrath firing with that 44 Vendetta. Unable to connect to much. Burrowing into the mirror window is the breaching round from Quick Cape. Good stuff from them. Dying intel is of utmost importance right now. Slowmo incurs a bit of damage off of some well-placed shots from Quick Cape. Frag grenade sorts out, and it's actually going to work against Wrath right there as Moon capitalizes. Half the game clock has expired now, and we're going to see back and forth trades from both of these teams. Evening it out, but Yellow brings it right back towards Purdue's favor. Lomo is taken out. Still have more operatives on this roam game. You're seeing Dahoon very far. Actually, no.
Bomb located by
That's
attackers.
the wrong site. Anyhow, though, Dahoon will be taken out by Na on the roam clear.
Attackers dropped
And
the
Borger in a 1v3, in a 1v2, in a 1v1. Two very well-placed headshots. Just has not to beat. It's definitely possible. He's gotten the two before. He's just got to collapse on one. And he's got the game clock to work in favor. He also has diffuser within his grasp. I believe they're aware of his position, though. It's going to be iffy as the Spitz are exposed. Purdue able to hold on. Firing at the shin of Na. Purdue will equal it out in a 1-1 scoreline. Oh boy. Oh, excuse me. Very tactical aggression from Purdue. Almost looked a little dicey on that last round. Yeah, minimal. Yeah, there you go. That's a good fix. Clear a little bit of the screen color.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
As
bombs
for
as they can.
EKU, they're going to retry that defense. It almost worked out for them. There was a very valiant effort from, I believe that was Dahan.
All set to jam the meridian. Electroglow is on.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Give me 1 minute.
Using shield.
Chad, I don't mean to be this out of whack. I'm sorry. I apologize. There's no
5 seconds
excuse.
remaining.
I know this whole weekend thing was crazy, but today's a new day.
Attackers
Today's a new
need to
age.
defuse a
We even
bomb.
have a new game. We haven't seen Rainbow Six in a while
Loading new
on our
magazine.
ECAC broadcasts. So to all who are out there enjoying, we do apologize for the tech issues we experienced early on. Trying to remedy that as much as possible. Trying to deliver some type of entertainment for you all. But we have more important
That was-
matters to attend.
I was wondering. Oh my goodness!
Just redecorating
Everyone's filing in.
the-
By the way, hey guys, Damien here. I'm gonna cut in for a bit.
Look at
It's-
Damien,
it's-
No
everyone.
need. No need because
No need. All right, I'm out. Later. That
Oh
was
my
a quick,
God.
flawless round.
So just from my 30 seconds of watching them, round. That did appear to be a wonderful, flawless round just coming in from that team. I don't know who that was, but it was somebody.
Oh, it was EKU who would win that
It was
round. Oh.
But I was currently, I thought the delay was gonna take longer, so I was currently a standard match. But I have returned. So now we're gonna be looking at this lineup, and then
Defenders,
already,
protect your bombs from being defused by
funny
attackers.
enough, I was also on Skyscraper. I lost 4-0 because of my teammates. But you know what? It's not a problem. These guys have amazing teammates. So they're going to be doing fine. But now, just looking at EKU now, they're bringing in a very good mix between wall denial and then also just like standard roaming as well. But I'm surprised they're bringing in a two-row arcade and a bandit. It's like they just don't want this wall to get open.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Though
10
I
seconds
still
left
have a
before
feeling
insertion.
Purdue's going to find a way to open it up.
5 seconds left before insertion.
It is Purdue's map pick overall,
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
despite not being able to take the advantage early on that they were hoping for. EKU has been seeing some pretty good success off of these rounds. Now they're starting to get ready for our next attack as we funnel towards the... Where are we? Oh, they went back to T. No, wait. Yeah. Where are we? Okay, no, we are back at T. Okay. They're just putting good amount of defense onto Exhibition and the officer, so completely understandable. You're going to see the breach into Geisha right now. Flushing out the operators that are there. We did see Bandit tricking earlier on that first defensive round from Sin, where he traded positions and has relinquished a bit more control onto Geisha. Control that is currently working against him right now as Lomo is eliminated, but Borger able to follow up with a kill of their own on the yellow. Kicking it up, evening it out. Borger with another very fine headshot right there. Na is removed. Two very influential operators. They did do their theoretical jobs. However, two very powerful weapons, as mentioned earlier, are now off the board.
Right now, just looking at how Purdue is holding this, it's the same thing. They got two people right now playing in Geisha, but one of them is split up with the rest of the force, and now coming down to the mid seconds. They do need to start hunting for these picks, especially now that they're down in their manpower. So they need to try and find something, and then right there with Ash trying to get like a bait shot just to try to find that bandit that's around the corner, but so far there is going to be currently no luck. While Wrath is going to be able to get Moon, but Borger is also going to be getting Wrath in return. So now with EKU having the defensive
Attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
upper hand, they're also going to be getting natural good shot by Borger. Can Borger get a K? And right now he's going to be trying to work on this, but right now with just the Twitch left with 40 seconds, she's not having much options when it's coming here because you're being surrounded by a DMR, a shotgun, and an MP7. These aren't really things that you want to be dealing with right now, and Dahan is going to be able to get quick save, ending the round, making that 3-1 for EKU.
Honestly, the TCSG from Khalid, it's basically another TMR, utilizing those slug rounds. In any case, though, it's a very nice defensive round from EKU to extend their lead as we draw closer and closer to the end of our first half. Purdue, definitely not what they wanted to see in their initial
Attackers need to
showing right
locate
now.
and defuse as many bombs as they
They're doing
can.
the best they can. They have gotten unlucky on these first bloods and their final executions, and they're losing the man count extremely early on, and that's definitely swaying the pace in these rounds because EKU was just walking away with those advantages, as you can see adamant in our scoreline.
And now just looking at how Purdue is going to be looking to
10
attack
seconds to go.
this. Right now, they're setting more towards
5 seconds
utility
remaining.
operators now, keeping the Grim to ace, and now going over to a
Attackers are
Brava and
moving out to
even a
locate a bomb and
Nook
defuse it.
pick coming in, just going from the downstairs. Attacking the downstairs it's risky, but at the same time, we'll see how this one could come on in. And then also just looking at how Purdue might be able to attack this. If they can actually stay together relatively for this one, especially with trying to take this giant open area, they might be able to get a little bit more success versus trying to split up and just force their little picks. So we're going to be seeing how this can come in, but also just looking at the defensive side of things, there's not too much for this Brava
Attackers have
to
located a bomb.
really be hacking besides just mute jammers and goos, really. So we're gonna see how they can make all of this into effect.
Hopefully it works into fruition as finally Yellow is able to start something off here. Minute already escaping from Purdue. Wrath lit up quite a bit off of an incursion from what I believe was Wargar, and Yellow following up with another one onto the Ham. Trying to continue it out now as Lomo gets a headshot onto Quick Cape. Swinging it back towards EKU's advantage, or at least doing their best that they can.
Now, especially down in numbers for EKU, they just need to hold off like a little. This castle playing upstairs, and then you have the Bandit and the Legion hold off sight against all four of Purdue. Right now, Purdue need to take this opportunity to just push forward a little bit more, because if they can lock down the castle upstairs, then they can essentially just force this into a 2v3. But right now, it's looking to be that Grim does have access to the main site, but is not going to be able to fully push in due to this castle that's going to be playing upstairs, and then Lomo going to be able to take out Na, finally evening out the score. And right now, we do have Natural trying to attempt to plant this, and Yellow is going to be taking out Skin as well with the diffuser now going down. You got to force this castle and this Legion out of hiding to fight for the defuse. Legion trying to get down these stairs, but the Grim is just not going to allow him to come down. But it doesn't matter because he's going to be able to take out this Grim, now forcing it to be a 2v2.
Almost working out for them as Lomo gets the quad to win it out. Plenty of time on the defuse. EKU are going to continue their round lead as they win round number 5, pushing us to our last round in the half. 4-1 scoreline. Definitely looking to make it 5-1.
Already this match is looking a lot better for EKU, but also it's just turning around to be very similar to how Clubhouse was for Purdue, is how EKU is treating this map right now. If they can win out their last defensive round, then they're going to be in the same exact position as Purdue was last game, coming out with an extreme advantage. But right now, with having 3 insurance rounds already on them, let's see if they can at least get just one more to secure the deal. But now that we're going to be coming up here into the office, it's going to be interesting, especially with this attacker line of bringing in a Sens, a Damo, well, now a Glass, a Damos, and Ash. Like, this seems to be a lot more of a frag-heavy squad more than just like a util squad. And then also, just looking back to EKU, they're doing the same thing. Bandit Kane and the Tuber out, making sure that none of these walls are open. But to supplement with that, they're also going to be throwing in a few more traps just for a little extra security. So I'm interested in seeing how they're going to be treating this.
Should be interesting, especially as you said, that glass pick. Good work for potential play here. We do see 2 smokes in reserve. So not a lot to aid the Glaz right now. Honestly, might just be extra flank watch. Just stick the Glaz in a window and hopefully they're able to find some work being done. However, yeah, definitely gonna be tough. No real hard breach potential. You're just gonna have to walk up one of these stairwells, and must say that's definitely a way to start taking bomb sites, but it's a lot harder, a lot more challenging, especially when you have operators like Lomo and Borger who are gonna force Purdue to be even slower on their takes, and Sin taking out Na to kick things off. Almost losing their life right now. 2 very low health EKU members.
But even with EKU being all the way to extremely low health, there's still a gun in the fight, so it's still something that Purdue does need to take into account.
Throwing frag.
Absolutely correct. Lomo continuing the lead, taking out Wrath. Big player being removed in the equation. Grenade goes soaring in. Unable to connect with much. Just got to play a lot more careful right now, as we are down to 60 seconds. Smoke is deployed. Works against, or actually works in their favor, as Quick Cape and Natural do start to answer back. The answers are actually working out right now, as the time might be dwindling down, but now you've brought it all the way back to a 3-on-2, a 3-on-1, as Quick Cap has been doing wonderful work with the 44 Vendetta. That's all on Sin. He's got to work against the ticking clock. He's also working against the Deimos and the Lion Scans, especially with the very powerful weaponry that Purdue have brought on this round. Will make it work out for them. They're still down, but they have brought it a lot closer, making it 4-2 at the half as we go into our side switch.
Now coming into our side switch, Purdue now coming in with a 4-2. They may be down, but at least they're doing a little bit better as far as like the round score, where they're not completely down like a 5-1. But still, right now EKU does have these 2 insurance rounds that are still within their grasp, but right now they just need to focus up on their attack, unless Purdue can come in with another super strong defense and they just hold out. But knowing this map and how it can be, especially with its angles and takes, honestly, I think we'd be a little bit more surprised with how this is going to be coming in. But for me, I think EKU has been managing this map. They've been managing Purdue very well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had to go into map 3 possibly. And then for anybody that forgets, map 3 is going to be Nighthaven Labs to possibly determine the fate.
5 seconds to insertion.
Well, we don't want to jump to conclusions too early on just yet. Still have a good amount of siege to push through. You're going to see. And now EKU making use of the Blackbeard. They're also bringing in the Dokkaebi. Continue this aggression. Twitch also being brought out. Get rid of some of this pesky utility that Purdue is using, especially those mirror windows. Even the Fenrir mines, those dread mines, definitely very influential to halting a push. I'm going to continue the fight over towards Geisha, though. Firing a couple rounds is Borger. Breaking through that barricaded window. Logic Bomb does get deployed by Moon. How EKU start to play around this. They'll send the Lomo Blackbeard. Try and investigate. Yellow giving away their position towards the gridlock tracks, and Nah taking out Lomo, but is trading off. Sin is able to join the fray as well. A couple shots landing onto Moon, but Nah is definitely not in the greatest of health. His teammate of Natural is going to aid him, not before Sin removes them from the fight as well. And all of a sudden, it's evened out to a 3-on-3. The half the game clock has expired.
Running it now at Purdue, they're hurting a little bit more now compared to EKU with two of their operators already being low. But now it's looking that EKU is going to be switching their entire attack strategy, and they're just going to be moving around, which this could possibly confuse Purdue here. But also, this could work out in their favor. They do have 1 minute left in the match, so they do need to work, and they need to work quick. But right now, they're on the complete opposite side of the bomb site, but Warden is starting to pick up on this, as well as Fenrir and Cade, where they're starting to navigate their way over to try and take this, and Yellow going to be trying to take some shots, but he's not going to be able to find anything yet. Warden realizing that somebody may possibly jump into Shrine. Right now, all they have to do is just hold their angles and just force them to push in. Because right now, we're coming down to the 35-second mark, and Warden is going to be getting taken out by a one-shot headshot by Sin. Now, allowing the operator numbers to be in EKU's favor. And then Sin not going to be able to get his ace, possibly getting knocked out by Yellow. Now it's just Yellow versus Borger. And Ace right now, he's trying to find it, but the plant is possibly going to go down, and Borger is going to be able to clear out Yellow.
The super shorty.
I've been seeing a lot of people recently like using the super shorty like properly, like actually as a weapon more than just utility, like a rotate utility. So it's actually quite interesting to see people doing that. But now, with EKU coming in with their 5th round, all they need is 2 more. So we're gonna see now if they can at least push just 1 more round to force this to go into match point. Also, today's stream is sponsored by water. You better start drinking it because I'm about to go to the bathroom to go get me some, which I will be right back.
You have to go to the bathroom for water?
What, you don't?
No.
Oh. Well, then I'm strange. Okay.
Apparently. No doctor.
No doctor.
No Doctor Strange. This is not Marvel Rivals. This is Rainbow Six Siege. What are we blabbering about? Anyway, 5-2 scoreline. EKU definitely have shown there's still some life to them. They've grown their lead by 3. Purdue need to tighten up the defenses here, because they lost a pretty critical opening attack, or defense rather. They now have to work against the clock. We're all just playing some standard Siege right now, not giving too much leeway to anyone right now. EKU definitely setting up for a take. They do have plenty of impact EMPs despite no Thatcher. The Brava could also look for some of those electrical gadgets. But either way, they definitely need to Hoon to aid them out right now. Bandit tricking might be successful. It gets deployed on the wrong wall, though. So, it is going to be successful. Wall's going to get opened up. Sending the drone in. I believe that's high enough for Romo to fit through. It's just very dangerous. Grenade comes soaring in, almost connecting with its intended target. Belomo dropping the shield, taking out Wrath. Quick Cap also getting a nice kill on the Borger right there. The scoreline's been evening out, and Quick Cap got a little nervous right there as they almost fired off on their teammate's drone. Natural. Sin incurring a little bit of damage from the goo mine as he jumps in through the window. Speaking of jumping through, It'll be a C4 to land on Sin's forehead,
Infiltrating their camps.
as it's a very nice kill. Moon able to steal the observation tools of this Purdue team. Shot narrowly goes wide right there. Almost landing onto Lomo. Still has another grenade to work with, and it's a big C4 onto Lomo. Dahoon answering on to Nah. Now it's evened out. 3-on-2. But there's no way. Why is there an H?
Well, it might be Nate FPS at the same time. So now, honestly, that's a good way to think of it. But yes, I have returned from my temporary water break, and now just Dahoon being 1 HP wonder, we're gonna be seeing if he can clutch this out in a 1v3, or if Purdue's gonna be able to take this out. But now constantly getting stunned by these yokais, and one person gonna be swinging him quick escape, gonna be able to take at least one good shot, and then ending the round by ending Dahoon. Now going into round number 9, we to a 5-3 scale. Now we're gonna be moving up to the exhibition room and office, and so far this site has been like a lot more action packed when it comes to the lower times, but the teams do tend to be a lot more passive when pushing the site, so we're going to be seeing how this one is going to be coming out. But just looking at EKU bringing in their Ace, Ash, and the Deimos, again, it's going to be a lot more, but they're also bringing in a lot of extremely meta and extremely powerful guns, especially with Deimos and his ability with the 44 mag. Ash is just Ash, she needs no explanation. Ace with the AK-12. And even with Borger switching off of Nomad from ARX, bringing in the L85. And then just Blackbeard should be banned, but I'm just looking at the bans now, and I'm surprised that he's not. But yeah,
10 seconds to go.
we'll see how this one comes out. But now, just with
5 seconds to
Purdue
insertion.
finally finishing up their site setup, they're bringing in a lot more shotguns,
Attackers must locate and defuse
just trying to break as much as they can. I guess prioritizing a lot more on just sight lines rather than restricting them. So honestly, if they can make this work, props to them. Also, I love that skin that Brava is using. Honestly, that is the first time I'll ever actually compliment somebody on it. And usually I insult people for their skins, but you know what? I'll give them one.
Par 308, definitely known for having some pretty good skins. That one pastel color is definitely my favorite. The light blue Para. Definitely, as I said, one of my favorites. Also seeing Year of the Pig mix matched with the white attachment skin. I don't know if the red and white really works there, but who am I to say?
I mean, I do question people a lot on why they use the hot pink with a black ice. That very much confuses me, but
Oh yeah, plasma
at the
pink and
same-
black ice, yeah.
yeah, I don't know why people do that. I think that's more of a jinxie thing, but it doesn't matter. So we're gonna Ace finally trying to take out the Mira, and he will be able to get it, but Blackbeard is going to be pushing onto the rear side, but we might see Mira trying to get a pick out from here, but these feet holes are going to be coming into advantage for the defense, just trying to pick out Blackbeard's feet, but he does have a shield, so they're not exactly going to be easy to find. But now with Cade trying to swing to take out this one Thatcher, and so far it's just a stalemate, still 5-5, but now we're going to be coming down to 1 minute. As I predicted earlier, this is going to be a lot more action packed now towards the end, and already we're going to be seeing Na taking out, which is a powerful pick, getting rid of that Blackbeard, just getting rid of the shield, so you don't have the pressure just from the shield pushing in. But now Ace and the Thatcher are going to be focusing on trying to get one of these exterior walls, but 35 seconds coming in, more than about half of the time is already being wasted, and already. The defense is still doing a great job trying to keep them outside. Natural getting a nice C4 kill onto Moon. And right now EKU is falling like he's just getting picked, and now it's the 1v5 scenario
15
where
seconds left.
Sin is going to have to do his absolute best, but with the runouts coming out and him getting picked by the Mira, is going to be a flawless round for Purdue.
No, yeah, that was a really nice defense from Purdue. They really held back the EKU aggression. They got all the picks that were required to keep them alive, and we've almost closed out our scoreline right now, because this team was currently down 4-2 at the half. Now we brought it all the way back to a 5-4. They definitely have the potential to close it
Protect
out
your bombs from being defused by attackers.
as we head over back to the barbecue and the kitchen. You are going to see a Solus, which I am curious about. Then again, EKU have been flashing this Deimos right now. It could work against them since that visor being active could potentially give Yellow some kind of information. Also, just the fact that they're able to find any drones that are lingering around that might be
10 seconds
eyeballing the rest of Purdue. In any case,
5 seconds
we're going to kick it out to round 10, and we'll see how they do.
Something that
Attackers must locate
I
and
do
defuse
miss
the bomb.
is that Solus did used to be like an extremely powerful operator, especially in the prep phase where she was able to activate her gadget and then just go around and just find every single drone and then just constantly get a drone ace. But now with her not being able to do that, I see a lot of people now, they're going to be using her correctly, which is just they're trying to deny post-plant opportunities, but also just trying to find util heavy operators, or at least technology heavy operators, especially for maybe like somebody like a Blitz, where his gadget is technically always on, so you can actually track him relatively easily. And it could be the same with IQ as long as she has her little iPad out. I don't even know what the heck that thing's called, but now we're gonna be seeing Ace trying to gain access up to the second floor, but there is gonna be a mirror up there by Geisha trying to get ready to deny this entry, but they're gonna be looking for their vertical play to the downstairs.
Oh,
Bomb located by
Your
attackers.
thing is
bit
blurry.
of a visual glitch. No, that's not blurry. That's the game. Never mind. We fixed it. I think that was that happened off of the drone being taken out. That static does tend to stay sometimes. Finally, though, some picks going Purdue's way. It's a great start from them. Wrath does fall, though, in a very peculiar situation to Dahoon. Can't even remember what I've been saying. Does follow up with another kill, though. On to Natural. A good way to even it out to a 3-on-3 now. Definitely want to get some stuff done. Lomo breaching with that assault shield. Trying to get some vertical. He spots one player of Nate. I'll say Nate. You know what? I'll give it to you, Damien. I know you're back behind the broadcast, but I'll start saying Nate. Why not? 35 seconds, and Purdue are holding it down rather well. EKU need to make a move. They want some success. Some breaching going on a little too far to connect onto the wall. Are able to breach it either way. Can't get the struggles with the goo mine
Seconds remaining.
in the leg. More goo mines being used. Trades coming out from both sides. The diffuser is starting to get planted right now.
5 seconds remaining.
And they spawn it out. Not quite. Lomo winning the gunfight against Nate. It is a down from Quick Cape. It's now a 1v1 with a very intense operator fight against. That's a shield versus the Vector. Who will win it out is Lomo. One tap headshot bouncing around the bomb chassis. Really nice shot. And that'll put EKU on match point.
Overall, that was a much better match coming in from EKU. I'm sorry, but no, just looking at the score lines as well, EKU is getting a lot better with getting their picks, especially with Sin and Lomo both having 10 kills here and Borger getting 9. Borger can easily get 10. I have faith in you, buddy. But also just looking at Purdue, they've been having really good solved defensive rounds. So right now they just need to get 2 more down, and then they can bring this over to overtime and then possibly close this out. But right now, all EKU is looking at, they just need 1 more. And by right now, we do have an EKU timeout for 15 seconds. Right now, I guess they're just trying to hype themselves up and just figure out what's going to be their final attack strategy to close this out in map 3. But also, this can be used on Purdue's favor as well, where they just need to refocus up, get a solid defense strategy for the next 2 rounds, and then just hopefully close this out. So we're going to be seeing how this is going to come out. But now with the timeout fully being ended, we are looking at a lot more of an aggressive EKU attack lineup, bringing in a Blitz, a Blackbeard, a Sens, an Ash, and then now a Glaz. So we're going to be seeing how this is going to come out.
Definitely a lot of aggression. Moon 6 picking from the Ash onto the Ash, so that's pretty knowledgeable from them. Moon also trading out the...
10 seconds left.
That's odd, trading out the Hard Breacher for the Glaz.
5 seconds to go.
We could see the Vision if they've brought some Hard Breach gadgets, which they have not, so... As we saw on the other side from Purdue, they might just walk up one of these stairwells or hallways and try to find some success. Definitely an interesting way to try to close out. We also be seeing Sens being brought. Underrated pick, in my opinion. A lot of people not enjoying the weaponry that Sens carries with them. However, the ROU change of being able to deploy the wall at their heart's desire. You're able to turn it on and off as much as they please. It's a good sentence change. Just don't see it played as much. But we are going to see a run out from Wrath to kick things off and taking out Moon, which that aggression that EKU were looking for is definitely dissipated now that Moon has been removed off of the board. It's now just firing back towards Geisha, trying to make something happen. Another nade goes wide there, I believe. Doesn't hit its intended target. Gonna see a rush coming in from Sin as they incur quite a bit of damage and Natural falling up onto Momo. Keep things in Purdue's favor. Quick cake. Also getting a kill. Watts soaring the Nitro Cell on through, and it's a flawless round from Purdue. Definitely something that EKU were not expecting. My goodness, the reads from Purdue right there. Just absolutely wonderful.
That was such a very good round coming in from Purdue, and they absolutely needed that because now this is probably going to be the most important round of this entire game, because this is either going to determine EKU pushes this all the way to Nighthaven Labs, or if we are possibly going to be going into overtime. Both teams absolutely need to lock this in, but EKU just getting absolutely picked off, especially with that aggressive of a team, like at least with the operator lineup, getting absolutely just flawless by Purdue. We're going to be seeing if this can absolutely turn this around for EKU, or if we're going to have to go into an extra 2 or 3 rounds. But for the final decider site. We're going to be back into offices. And if the prophecy is true, this round might be determined within the last minute.
10 seconds left.
But now just looking at the site setup for Purdue already. And they're bringing in a pulse, which is pretty interesting because there's not many under C4 plays that you can do with pulse on this map. But bringing in the Cade, the Mira, the Legion, the Warden. Overall, this is actually a very diverse lineup. But also just looking at EKU, bringing in a much more passive team, especially now with bringing in a Flores. If you can send in those Flores drones and be accurate with them, that can absolutely wreck any defensive setup. Like for me personally, Flores is my main, and I absolutely love just sending in the hamsters and just looking at a defensive team just fall apart because all their utility is just disappeared just from 4 pretty much RCXDs. That's essentially what they are, but already we're gonna some early damage getting put onto Lomo from playing Blackbeard just coming off. But right now we're down to 2 minutes, and so far EKU is making some significant progress coming in. And here comes the first logic bomb. But now Borger trying to trap in this one defender who is going to be hiding into Geisha. They might be able to push them out and just weed this person out, just weed out the pulse. But right now, with his power position, he is able to fight anybody that comes his way as long as he can play the smart. But right now, going to be getting droned out. They know we just need to figure out how exactly they want to take Pulse out. Pulse debating of a run out, and he's going to be doing it, and he's going to be able to get the Hoon out of there, taking out their hard breach, and Wrath also going to be able to get Lomo out of here, knocking out their Blackbeard. So far, this Pulse is proving to be extremely worthwhile, and if he can keep this up, especially with possibly taking out this Flores soon, then this might get better. Now Quickscape being able to take out Borger, and then Yellow taking out Skin, and Raz coming in for 3k and getting Moon, solidifying the overtime, and now is a 6-6. Also, something I noticed throughout that round, there's a lot more people using hollows than I thought, where a lot of these guns have access to 1.5s, or my bad, that they have access to the ACOGs, and they're not utilizing them, which is, to me, it's a little strange, but hey, we're gonna see how this comes in.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
And now EKU is going to be on the defense, and Purdue is going to be coming back in for the offense, so we're going to be seeing if things can change around here.
Hoping for the best now that they have forced this overtime. Purdue have fought tooth and nail to come on back to this overtime point. Quickscape showing off their prowess. They have been doing wonders in this game. 10-7 right now. Been some pretty good fragging potential for them. Scoreboard pretty even out in general right now. A couple EKU members falling behind, but they've been playing well in the lurks. And impact frags don't really get displayed as much, but they have definitely been there. As you can see, we are in overtime, so these teams have been doing something right to bring us all the way to round 13. Now, starting to get the breach off. I don't think, actually, now that I say that, I don't believe our breach is happening just yet. Just want to make sure there's no stragglers over towards the bottom floor.
I was about to say, are you sure about that?
I thought they was gonna get ready to.
We are going to be
get
placing a
going.
breach charge onto a barricade, and it is going to be effective. So we do have some sort of breach coming in, but also the thermite trying to get one of these exterior walls, but it is going to be getting denied. But now with Ace trying to get the main breach, it is going to be ending up being successful. But now with thermite fully in, now we actually do have some things to work with here.
Drone activated.
But still, minute 45. No real major gunfights have been taken in just yet. But we do have a pretty good defensive posture coming in from EKU. They're playing a little bit more together. They're not as spread out this time. They're mostly here, and Skin gonna be getting yellow, knocking out the,
Has been dropped.
which is a good pick. And a C4 underneath from Sin, a well-placed C4 knocking out Nah, who's the Thatcher. So already your main utility and your main, I would argue your main breacher are now fully out. Purdue now have to crack their fingers and focus up here, because now that they're down 2 men, Skin is just gonna be absolutely taking everybody out. Now also knocking out Quickscape. Maybe Skin might be looking for a possible ace here as well. But with Thermite and Lion now both trying to get
Attackers have
upstairs and
located a
just
bomb.
starting to take control, we're gonna be seeing how this could be. But now everybody mostly just holding angles. Not too many overt actions coming in, but now we're gonna be seeing
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
trying to take some shots here. And the Hoon is gonna be down, but Lomo is gonna be stealing that ace away. And Sin also gonna be getting knocked out, and Lomo as well. Now, sending this towards EKU's favor.
Dangerous territory, and we are gonna have a rehost being done. I do believe the game settings are not correct right now, so it is gonna force a rehost. We're gonna try and fix a couple things as quickly as possible, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, we can see a conclusion for our map 2 here. So as we figure that out, don't go away. We'll be right back. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Um,
No, we're not. We're all
Yes.
dying in here in the booth. We're all losing our minds.
Oh my goodness. Not sure what's happening with the band phase right now. But then why is the screen here? We should just go right to the gameplay. Oh my
all right. So
god.
I'm going to be taking over because Louis is currently losing his mind.
I'm having a breakdown. I'm having a breakdown.
Man is man is currently having a crash out.
Just take it from here, Overcast.
So man is currently having a crash out. So he needs his sleep. But right now, casters aren't supposed to be biased, so I'm not going to be saying anything. But just
A Purdue
actually, no,
win would be
Attackers need to locate
pretty
and
Would be
crazy
nice.
here.
would be nice.
Would do wonders for honestly just everyone. It's a Monday night. It's just, school night as well. A couple of our college players definitely may have an early classes tomorrow. I know I do.
Hey, if you got those 8 a.m.s, you better be planning on skipping those. But you want to know what's nice about being a full-time employee now? I got a 4-on-2-off schedule. So I already worked my 4 days. Tomorrow, Wednesday, my 2 days off. So I will be back for Rocket League casting. But still, once I'm looking at my bed currently right now, and it's looking beautiful, and I very much
diddly
want,
umptious.
I want to go into it. But let's hope that Purdue can win this out.
We're gonna see what happens. 7-6. Either we get our final round from EKU, or we continue our play thanks to Purdue.
Tracks released.
They're gonna start. Oh, excuse me. They're gonna start their drone work over towards the first floor. We do have a scavenger of yellow who's playing this verticality right now. Couple of shots ringing out on through. Doing trying to kick things off, but finally Lomo finds yellow. Alleviate some of that roam pressure. And it's definitely a grim start for Purdue. They're going to continue it out now. Game clock keeps on ticking down and down. Wraith is actually going a potential flank here. Might have made too much noise. I believe they are aware of the position. He's going to drop on back over towards the bar side of things. And sprinting might not be the best decision here from Wrath. I think there's more drone work being deployed by Lomo. So if Wrath plays it carefully, he might be able to see something. I believe the incursion downstairs has gone underway. A couple of blows being exchanged by the two operators down here. Speaking of blows, Sin receiving a lot of them. There's a couple of smokes and ROUs are being deployed. The diffuser starting to go down. Nitro Cell does not get anything. However, Moon getting a headshot. The Hoon following it up onto Natural. Nitro Cell from Wraith, and EKU will win it. And they will force us to a map 3.
How happy. Well, now we're going to be going into Night Haven Labs, and we're going to be seeing if we can finish it off there. Hopefully we don't have any issues coming in with this, at least as far as like starting the match and all that. But now hopefully we can just get this straight started.
Nope. We are now missing 4 players.
Yippee. It's a pathfinder.
We're gonna
No.
find out where our players went and try to load into map 3 as soon as possible.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. we are hitting our map 3 for tonight for our quarterfinals match between Purdue and EKU. After a very long night of troublesome servers and miscommunications and all that fun stuff. But let's get right to the ban phase of this last map of Nighthaven Labs with Blackbeard taking off the field. Understandably, very powerful force, hard to deal with. Maverick, you know, he make the hole. Holes are scary in this game, especially. One hole, one bullet, one headshot, one kill. It's just that simple. Moving on to the next. Tubero, we've seen a lot of good Tubero gameplay as well as just a general effectiveness he has on Nighthaven, so that's very understandable as well. A lot of wall denial, area control. And last but not least, the Azami. Same reason why it was banned in the first map of Clubhouse. I don't know what that area is called, but respectively for the garage, it's kind of basically the same thing for one of the spots that's on the second floor. So, let's see what our players have in store for us. I'm going to be taking control now. Valkyrie Bandit, Mute, Mira Warden. I'm not going to bother even talking about those attackers because we can always change those.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Alright, we're starting Command Center. Let's see these optimal Valk cams that Wrath has in store for us. I already missed that first
Attackers
one.
have located a bomb.
Looks like we're just placing them in some corners. That's alright. Gets the job done. Sin getting this this is exactly the spot I was talking about. Okay, we're going to call this Generator. Generator it is. This is the zombie spot I was referring to, so. We have
10 seconds remaining.
made it easier to approach.
5 seconds to go.
Some optimal Mira setup
Defuse a bomb.
being done by Nate. Alright. Looks like we're keeping the double hard breach as Zofia for the first time tonight. Blitz in place of the lost Blackbeard. And Borger on some good old Flores. Can't go wrong with the Flores, trust me. Other than the fact that yellow is on mute, but, you know, we're going to disregard that. We're going to see proper usage to disregard it. I hope, because I'm scared now. Okay, we're good. Nope, we're not good. That is not going off. That is absolutely denied. Oh well, you know, I tried. I gave hope. Moon getting good value trying to get rid of the bandits. Their team. Looks like successful enough. Unless that's not in the right spot. I'm not entirely sure right now.
Setting up a sequential breach. Drone active.
Quick taking some damage. From who, you might ask? Was it you, Sin, who's now taking control of this? Ow. There goes Nate's C4. Good enough damage. Not the kill, but a good chunk of damage so that some foot shots from the exposed Sin will clear out. Hello. Just saying hello.
Time to make a new door.
Bit of disruption to force Nate into a awkward situation. Confuse them a bit. Minute already dropped with the time closing in. However, we have... Oh, man. Okay, well, things are getting awkward as one player is left. Nate's dropping everyone, just getting traded back by Sin. Sin getting traded out. And very quickly, it's now just Dahan being cleared up by Wrath. And hopefully EK is alright with that missing player. Yep, we are indeed engaging a tech pause to recover our crashed player, to the unfortunate pain of all the players who just want the game over with, as they're tired. These are collegiate players. They do have class in the morning. While we wait for the recovery of our player, let's see how we're doing, even though we have one round. Okay, a very quick connect. Fortunate for everyone. But, Nate did good there. I think that's about as much as we can say there. Everyone was just kind of suddenly dropping and trading each other off, but near the end, and Oryx being picked is always fun.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
I think the Blitz warranted that. However, we're not seated this time. Instead, a Ram and a Deimos. Buck even. I don't think we've seen Buck play today, honestly. Despite the amount of vertical gameplay we've been seeing from everyone, because normally Buck kind of gets a bit redundant when, you know, Ram exists. That's okay.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to insertion.
Let's see. Where is everyone?
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
See how these players approach this attack. With Yellow already taking some damage from something. I'm not entirely sure what that was about. Whether that was some intentional shots through a window and they happened to be there, or something else happening. I'm trying to avoid this mute. However, Yellow... Ah, I see what happened. And now Wrath's game has crashed. What a fun turn of events everything is turning out to be. Everything is falling apart, unfortunately for everyone. It's outside our control. Nobody is having fun. Yellow getting forced far, far away. Ooh. Do we know where those bolts are coming from? That's a cute little rabbit. Ram util sneaking in. The quick C4 goes off. Wait, where's the Ram? Oh, that's the Ram. Right, Sin's Ram. Alright, there we go. Sin finally finds Yellow and finishes that off. However, yep, they do find Quick as well. Now they have a man advantage due to the disconnect, I believe, but nonetheless, that is unfortunately the fate. C4 not connecting, but a bullet will. So now the teams are even up for this round. We'll see how they progress forward. Ooh, does not find the headshot. Wrath has successfully returned. Obviously won't connect. Time for this. They do keep their score, though. That's good. They wanted that. Gotta keep the KD. Natural force to fend for themselves for a bit while the two imposing attacker... Impending. That's what I want. Impending attackers. I guess they're imposing as well. But for the sake of what I'm trying to say, are making their way over to him. Having to put a thermite on a castle charge is a very... Castle doors feels weird to me, but you know, we're in a desperate situation. We gotta do what we gotta do.
10 seconds.
Borger trying to go for the swing, doesn't find a natural. Natural ready for both. And despite the odds, does successfully win out this round for their team. Do I have the sides correct? Yeah, I do. Okay, making sure. Purdue up 2. I do say, I think both of these teams are very defense-sided in their gameplay. As we've been seeing very strong defense rounds from both of these teams. Maybe a bit redundant, perhaps. In any case, Blitz coming back out
Attackers need to locate and
with the
defuse as
Oryx
many bombs as they
going
can.
missing. So we're setting up in this warehouse location. Spraying for another setup of double hard breach. With Nomad for flanks, Deimos to hunt them down, secure the ones. I say secure the ones, but in reality, Deimos is better when paired as
10
with
seconds
someone
to go.
else.
5 seconds
Okay.
left before
It's
insertion.
more optimal, you know. Play with your team. It's a team game.
Attackers'
If
objective
both of
is to
you
locate a bomb and defuse
and
it.
an enemy are exposed to each other constantly, then you know you got friends. Hopefully, assuming you're not both.
New camera feed up and running.
Of course, not very interesting cams. You know, they're reliable. These, like, they get the job done. Nothing wrong with default cams that just get you the information that you
Bomb
need.
has been located.
Moon doing work farming points with IQ util. Wrath spotting some people through the wall, but unable to do anything about it. Deimos on the hunt for Wrath. No C4. I heard a C4 go off, but nothing connect anywhere. Moon trying to get in there more, backing up Sin. With Dahan taking the lead. Oh, but Sin taking heavy damage to the flooring. Borger trades that back out.
Attackers drop
And the
the
yellow
diffuser.
from somewhere else. So I shouldn't say as a trade, but regardless. Wrath still trying to do what they can from down here. Looks like they want to regroup up the stairs now. Now Nate being hunted while Quick gets taken out by Dahan. Cost of a good chunk of their HP. And there goes the rest with Wrath finishing off. Despite the elevation, they only needed a little bit of damage. So the C4 is enough. Elsewhere, Lomo falls. So Sin starting up the new hunt. Hunting for Natural, who's already low enough. But doesn't matter, Nate's there. Trades that out, Borger trades that back. Wrath finishing back and forth, and now we're to a 1v1 situation with Wrath at a very good amount of health, and Moon not so much.
Attackers have
45
recovered
seconds
their
on the
diffuser.
clock, and Wrath obviously has the advantage here, being able to locate them at a, you know, relatively good pace. Oh, but they can see each other. They're both using their utility. Yeah, that's kind of funny if you think about it. It's all about timings on one another. They just have to keep track of one another. Moon making their way down the warehouse stairs. This could be big. Nothing connects.
15 seconds to go.
Wrath is smart. They know they just have to wait for them to come to them. You don't have to swing this. You don't have to swing this.
10 seconds left.
Playing a very dangerous game. Somehow that didn't kill, though.
5 seconds
Moon
remaining.
wide. I don't know if they know. Wrath does find it and win the round out. Taking Purdue to 3 for this third and final map. Same difference. Our quarterfinals almost coming to a close, potentially. Thank you all for staying tuned despite the mishaps. Alright. Quick has been doing a lot of good number this
Attackers
game.
need to locate
Who's
and
taking the
defuse
lead
as
right
many
now?
bombs as they can.
Nate, Natural. Wrath. I mean, they're all up 4, but Wrath doing the most with no deaths. Given one round, they kind of were dropped by the game as opposed to an enemy. But doesn't count. Ooh. Moon with the classic IQ to IQ.
10 seconds to go.
Quick opt in for the shotgun.
5 seconds left.
You know, just want to have fun. We've seen a lot of shotgun gameplay. They like these holes. They like the vertical gameplay. They like shooting balls that don't break also as well, I guess. Quick, just want to blow out all their ammo
Bomb located
that they're
by
not going to get
attackers.
back. You know, they don't need it, I guess. As long as they have 5 bullets, that's all you need, realistically. Wrath playing a bit dangerous here. They do have their C4, but it looks like they don't want to make that. Ooh, still not connecting on the moon. Still fighting this. I wonder what's happening elsewhere.
Breaching sequence activated.
Natural's like a little bit of something somewhere. Nothing of too noteworthy value. Looks like in the end, Wrath and Moon finished their fight.
Deploying drone.
Big C4 throw, and it connects very nicely from Nate. Given we don't see it, but it does show you the throw range and all that information now. I mean, there's not much else to say that. It does show you where it's going to go. So you don't have to be as skilled now. But not saying that it wasn't an impressive usage of it, regardless.
Sell them out.
Trying to deny this mirror wall value. It is working. Oh, we see some toes here. Oh, but they're backing up. And they have left the building. Elsewhere, Wrath does finally find Moon after all this time. However, under different conditions, of course. Lomo being dropped, finished off. After they took out Nate. Quick, still mining their way by these stairs. Not going to find anything it looks like. Dahan dropped from something. Probably Natural. Natural's doing numbers right now. All up to Borger, who is currently outside, probably trying to find the bomb and make their way towards something. However, with a big hole in the wall that's near the bomb, and everyone looking at it, a bit awkward. Mute, unable to run out. One dropped. Hold on. Down one.
15 seconds remaining.
It's possible they fumble
10
this.
seconds to go.
No offense, but you know. Wrath was picked up though, so they are still big. Oh, if everyone just swings at once. Okay, there we go. And Quick, in the end, does find the kill that they wanted that entire round. Some nice quick shots around this corner with the shotgun. Bringing us to a round 5. Still strong 4-0 showing from Purdue. ECAC trying to think about how they want to approach this now. They're not able to finish these rounds out, unfortunately. The Oryx coming back out.
Defenders, protect your bomb screen.
However, this time,
By
oh no, we're
attackers.
switching off the blitz. I was going to say, if Wrath was able to stay hidden enough, they could find big value. However, not the case. A lot of switching around with rolls. Wrath was spotted regardless in the end. Let's get these drones into some nice safe positions. Outside the building is probably the safest. Can't argue with that.
10 seconds to insertion.
Calibrating.
5 seconds left.
All set.
Attackers objective.
Good
is to
mirror
locate a
setups
bomb
on
and
the site
defuse it.
itself. Able to keep full control from their singular location in Nano.
Camera ready.
Sin opting for a very, very fast entry. Survey says no. We're gonna be safe and smart as they should. They quickly found out that there are indeed people very close by waiting for this entry. However,
I'll find you and end you.
this can be actually very not good. They are unaware actually of Yellow right in his corner, so Yellow's able to get these two, and Wrath. Okay, everyone is falling all over the place, and very quickly it is now Dahan, all alone at the top of this building. However, their position probably relatively compromised, but Wrath is dropped by them. We've gone quiet. We're entering over the mute jammer. Probably, yep, they are aware. That's gonna connect. Good C4 from Quick to quickly finish the rest of that round out. Ding. And the body goes completely missing. Blood shoots out of the floor, because that makes sense. Now we're up 5. Moving forward, the minimal settings has shown up once again, despite me constantly turning it off. So, you know, whatever, I guess. See if I care. Ubisoft hates me. Doesn't want to keep the settings that I have constantly changed.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
The attackers do indeed need to locate and defuse bombs, and we are in fact activating cameras.
New camera feed up and running.
I'm not going to keep doing that. In any case,
Deploying mines.
we are getting... I think the drone work has been pretty good from both of these teams for the most part. From what I've seen, it's been
Bomb
pretty good.
located by attackers.
Whether they're keeping them out and just having a few in for the control and numbers, it's been
10
optimal.
seconds to go.
In terms of
5
using
seconds
them
to go.
mid-round for each other,
Attackers are heading out
I
to
wouldn't
defuse
say that
bombs.
much. I think it's been very, like, drone for themselves, then move in, as opposed to, like, drone for someone else while they're moving in.
Selma sequence activated.
And that's okay, but, you know. Oh, whoa there. Nate dropped immediately, which I have to assume was Lomo. I don't think they're... Oh, I don't think they were aware that they dropped them. However, Natural from above with that hole in the floor trades that back, so someone just has to find Nate and rescue them. The position of the diffuser, however, in plain sight of Purdue.
Attackers
Oh,
have recovered their
however, a bit of a mishap happened and has gone missing very quickly as Dahan runs off with it. Quick upset by the radio, understandably. Gets rid of it. Nate was indeed picked up because
Reloading.
friends help friends out. Sin trying to get in. Immediately dropped. Nate good for 2 here. Can't find the third. Dahan still going in. Everyone running through this Fenrir, unable to see anything other than red. Well, purple then red. Moon left for themselves. However, whoa, everyone seems to be aware of their location, and Yellow drops them quickly. Purdue taking this final map in a very dominant fashion. If EKU wants to continue through the playoffs, a drastic change is going to have to happen. Which a drastic change has happened. We've swapped sides. That could be the change they needed. As I had previously said. Defense good. Defense easier. If the attackers never show up, defense win.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
However, these past few rounds have been rather quick as opposed to some of the other ones that have been down to less than minute marks. And we're opting for a, looks like a rather fast-paced attack still from Purdue, who want to try to get this over with as fast as possible. Sin opting for Scopos to keep control across two sides of the map. Lomo slowing this down nicely with mines. Castle also good for the most part, despite an Ash being picked. And, you know, just general usage from the other two. Nothing wrong with that.
Attackers are moving out to
But,
locate a
yeah,
bomb
still,
and defuse it.
as we looked back before, we're still the same with Natural, Nate, and Wrath all tied up for their kills. Good. All of them doing good. Not much else I can say about that, I guess. Alright, who's making first contact today? Quick is in there, already stepping on a mine. Taking 1 tick of damage. More than I would have preferred. Hole is made in the floor. Forcing Quick to start running through. Can't finish the kill on Borger. Ooh, and gets dropped. However, gets traded out by Natural coming from behind. Suddenly, everyone is all over the place. No one does drop Wrath around this corner. There's so many corners and angles that have to be accounted for.
Changing mags.
Nate now getting Lomo. Who I don't actually know what happened there. But regardless, Yellow finds Sin, bringing Purdue back to a numbers advantage, which could just be enough to get this game over with, but who knows. Moon's location
Bomb located
is
by attackers.
detected. Yellow creeping in and is able to trade it out. No, that was on Dahan, who was standing in the middle of the site. Elsewhere, Moon was still able to find a kill. Oop, this C4 could go big. It is. Ooh. But Yellow with the angle, the crosshair placement. That does bring an end to our quarterfinals match of Rainbow Six Siege here at the ECAC. Week 2 playoffs, you know, all that stuff. A very dominant, flawless victory. As close as that last one was for Purdue. But that will be me sending everyone off to a good night, as Purdue is as well. Thank you all for staying tuned despite all the mishaps and junk. This has been Damien. Earlier it was good old Louis Lasagna and Overcast. I don't know how I forgot his username. That, oh well. In any case, good night, everyone.